Hey y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Vashawn here with a not so random thought. Y'all, y'all, y'all got me on here looking crazy, but it is what it is. I'm on vacation, so y'all know I'm fine every other day. You know, when I'm home, I look the way that I look. But anyways, that's not why I'm here today. I'm here today to tell y'all, one, I'm good. If you see me post anything on social media, know that I've already went through my process of healing. Know that I've already dealt with, sorry, that's Condex. Know that I've dealt with my process of healing. Know that I've went through the proper channels. Know that I've talked to my therapist. Know that I've prayed about it. Quite literally, this morning I prayed for 2 hours, actually 1 hour and 55 minutes, from 7 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. Like, it's not a joke. Like, my prayer life is real. Prayer is the only reason why I am successful. I make no qualms about it. I'm not perfect, but if anything, I'm going to pray. I'm going to go before the throne. And so I prayed this morning before I even posted anything. And so, you know, most people that are micro influencers, or content creators, you know, they have this content calendar, and they have all these things and these tools. I quite literally ask God what I'm going to talk about, and He tells me. Like, I have all these views and all this stuff literally because I talk to God and He tells me what to say. So I need everybody to know I'm good. Now, healing is ugly. And that's something that you need to know, especially when you deal with trauma from your past, and especially if you deal with trauma from your children. It gets ugly. And you will fall out, you will argue, you will cry, you will be mad. All of the feelings are going to happen. You're going to grieve what should have happened. You're going to grieve what should have been. You're going to grieve what you didn't do. You're going to grieve bad choices. You're going to go through your process. But the good thing about God is that He allows you to feel your process, and then He'll heal you as you go forward. So I had to call off my girls this morning because they read my post and it was up. Y'all just need to know, once upon a time, before there was corporate V, before there was a micro influencer, before there was all these things, I had a group of women, and there's things that I'm just not going to talk about. It is what it is. All I'm saying is I have a group of women. It's up whenever I say it's up. If I say, listen, there's a problem, they pulling up. They're calling me. They're like, what's up? Well, we at, sis. Like, I have to constantly calm them down. And I know that God has a sense of humor, because I used to be the person that needed to be calmed down. I used to be on go. Like, if you knew me in my teens, in my 20s, I'm going to say it like this. I don't believe in astrology, but I'm a Leo. That's all I'm going to say. Listen, alpha female, whole nine. Like, it was up. And it wasn't until God healed my heart that I realized that my anger and that my large aggressive personality wasn't for bad, it was for good. So like Jay-Z said, those that make the laws, I got smoke for them. Listen, I'm going to go the political route with this. We're going to do business in the boardroom, and I'm going to apply pressure to those that oppress my people. I'm going to apply pressure to those that hurt my children. I'm going to apply pressure to those that are not forthright in the things that they talk about. That's what my fight is. So God had to literally make me this aggressive so I wouldn't be scared to say anything. I'm not scared to say anything to anybody anytime on site. That is my personality 100%. I'm rarely intimidated. Rarely. Like, I can think of 2 people in my whole life that intimidated me. Like, that's it. So God made me this way to be an advocate and to be an ally and to help those that once sat in the seats that I once sat. I used to be a young girl in the hood that needed resources, that was on welfare, that had the bitter baby daddy with the box Chevy and the bang. Like, I had all that. I had all of that. But now God has redeemed me. Now, do I have a baby daddy? No, I don't have any baby daddies or exes. Anybody ask me, I don't have any exes, I don't have any baby daddies. Listen, we just got kids that we're related to, and that's it, and that's all. Like, I don't do that. Now God has redeemed me. I have a man that loves me. I have a man that protects me. I have a great life. Things are looking really good for me, but it came at a cost, y'all. I paid for this with my life. So I'm very serious about the things that I do. I'm very serious about the things that I say. And with that being said, I'm serious about healing. Healing is available to you if you want it. Healing is available to you if you want it. A lot of people get attention and a lot of people feel good about being in pain. They don't want to be healed. They want to be broken because brokenness gets some attention, and that's the thing that they lacking in their lives. Listen, I don't want to be broken anymore. I don't want to be bitter no more. I don't want to be angry no more. And these are the things that I said to God. God, I don't want to beat nobody else up. Like, I want to be healed. I want to do what you called me to do. I want to be a wife. I don't want to be a baby mama no more. I don't want to have, a roster of dudes that I can call when I wanted something. Like, I didn't want that. I wanted to be a queen, good, upstanding citizen. I wanted to be able to speak to the mayor if there are issues in my city. I wanted to be able to speak to the governor if something's not right. I wanted to be able to stand and speak with proper diction if necessary. Now, I can get with you if I need to get with you, but I can also speak with proper diction. So I can turn it off and on. Like, I ain't forgot. Like, this ain't that. So I tell people all the time, there's a part of my life that I'm transparent about, but there's a part of my life that I don't talk about too. And that is just wisdom. That is wisdom. I don't tell everybody everything. Y'all know 3 things about my life. And if you look on social media, you will feel like I tell everybody everything. Y'all know 3 things about my life. I'm not going to tell you what the 3 things are, but I only talk about 3 things a lot. And that's it. So if you run up on me hollering about, sis, what's going on? I'm not going to tell you you're meddling. And I'm going to tell you that. It's none of your business. If I didn't post about it, you ain't supposed to know. And that's it, and that's all. So I say all of that to say this. Y'all, I'm good. I got some disturbing news, and when you have children and you have older children, sometimes you're going to have to deal with trauma, and sometimes you're going to have to deal with things that hurt, and sometimes you're going to deal with things that are painful. My mom says it best: when your children are from the ages of 18 and 25, that's when all hell breaks loose. And now that I think about it, I faced 25 years in prison when I was 19 years old. I had my son when I was 20. I had my daughter right after I turned 21. I was like 22 when I had my daughter. So I had my kids back to back to back after possibly going to prison. So I know exactly what my mom means now when she says 18 to 25 is rough. I have grown children. I don't parent them. I now have to advise them. And I tell people all the time, I don't care what you feel about my kids ever. Please be clear. Before I am a CEO, founder, before I'm an innovator, before I do all the things on social media, I am mommy. And if you come for my children, you will see me in person. If you come for my children, you will see me in person. And that's it. So most people don't want that. I'm 5'9" and a thick woman. Nobody wants to see all that in person. So I just say, whatever comments that you have, whatever you feel about my children, however angry they make you, you better come talk to me first. Because if you ever approach my children, I will approach you. I'm mommy. I gave birth 21 years ago. I gave birth 19 years ago, and I hold that standard to life. I will not drop the ball with being a parent. My children may do things that I don't agree with. My children may make bad decisions. Listen, I got a boy and a girl, and I've seen it all. I've seen it all. So I tell people clearly, if something happens, let me deal with it. Because if you put your mouth on them, then I got to go see about you. And that's not violence, and that's not threatening. That's me being a mother. I'm going to have a conversation with you. My son sent me a text message of a mother that was mad about a situation, and so I called her. And he was like, what? FaceTimed her. Ma'am, where you at? What's happening? What's tea, sis? Because you need to say that to me. You don't say nothing to him without saying it to me. And God knows you're not going to say it to me. So if you're not going to say it to me, don't say it to him. Period, point blank. To my daughter, if anything happens, if anybody does anything to her, I have all the smoke, I have all the lawyers, I have all the time, and I got plenty of money. I will come for you if you bother my children. And so I take that seriously. And it's hard when you're a public figure, when you're a social media micro-influencer, people feel like they can run up on your kids and say anything. Don't even act like you know my children. Don't say nothing to them. Don't even ask them their names. Are you Bashan's son? Are you Bashan? Don't say nothing to them. Leave them alone. Because they tell me, and now I got to go see about you. So it's like, I take my role as mother seriously. I tell people, again, before I'm CEO, founder, innovator, all the credentials, before I roll out all my credentials on the table, y'all better know I was a mother 21 years ago. I was a mother 19 years ago. Y'all better be very clear. So I say all that to say things happen. And this past month, most people know this month has been incredible. This month has been incredible. That's why I'm on vacation right now, because I have not stopped moving for the last 30 days. And so now I'm tired. And so this past weekend, I had to have a hard conversation with my children, and it hurt because I had to talk about things that I dealt with in my past. And parents, if I can admonish or advise you on anything, be honest with your children. I said things that I've never said to anybody else, but I had to say it to my children. I had to say, you're not going crazy, because I dealt with those things. I was a victim of abuse and sexual abuse and domestic violence. I dealt with all of that in my teens and 20s. I literally had to fight men, literally toe to toe with a box cutter in my hand, literally. So I had to tell my children these things, and it was hard. It was hard, and that's what most of my posts are about today. There was things that I went through that I could never speak on. My father's a military trained sniper. Y'all ever seen the movie Taken and Red? That's my daddy. Listen, I can't. There's things that I just can't talk about. I'm trying to protect the people. God gives me things, but you have to have wisdom to know what to say and what to hold. And a lot of things, I say it to my therapist now. I bless God for my therapist. I bless God for my therapist. My therapist said, Vashawn, FaceTime me now. I need to look at your eyes. And everybody that knows me, you know, my eyes are two different colors. When something's wrong, my eyes are dark. Look, my eyes are dark. So she was like, what's up? What's going on? And so we talked. And she helped me work through stuff. And she helped me work through my anger and work through my pain and the shame and the guilt and stuff. I'm telling y'all, every, I'm going to say it again, everybody needs a therapist. Everybody needs a therapist. And let me be clear with the things that I say. Every black person needs a therapist. Every black woman needs a therapist. And I mean somebody that you can be 100% transparent with. You know what, therapist? If I see sis, I'm going to punch her dead in the mouth. You need a therapist. If I see bro one more time, I'm going to drop him. You need a therapist. You need to work out some of that trauma, because you can't walk around being angry all the time. And you can't walk around threatening people. You can't be angry in the way that you speak. Like when I'm upset, my voice doesn't get high, because I know my triggers. If I start yelling, my hands are going to start moving. So I can't yell. I can't yell at you. I ain't going to argue with you. We're either going to be cool or we're not going to be cool. And if we're not cool, it's not what you want. So again, I worked out all that in therapy. Like when I was, again, 27 years ago now, I did the math, 27 years ago, it was up on site with anybody. And I bless God, there was no social media, there was no cameras, there were no, there was no proof, no face, no case. There were so many things that I should have been fronted for. There were so many times where I should have been on Front Street with the things that I was doing, because I was a menace. Do you hear me? I was a menace. I will post pictures later. I did things that I don't even want to talk about right now. But the grace of God covers me. The word says he will cover a multitude of sins. And so I'm covered by grace. So do I do things right all the time now? Absolutely not. But I'm covered by grace and mercy. So with that, I'm careful with my judgments. When I talk to people and I have a strong opinion about something, I realize that somebody could have judged me, but they didn't. Somebody could have judged my kids, but they didn't. So I offer grace and mercy when I don't want to offer grace and mercy. I offer kind thoughts and prayers when I don't have nothing nice to say. So I'm saying all that to say that came from me having a therapist. That came from me getting help. I had to say, you know what? I'm not right. I'm not right in my head. And so we had to go back generations. I learned that my great-grandfather tried to kill my great-grandmother, tried to kill my grandmother. I learned that there was a domestic abuse and violence in my family for generations. I'm talking about at the turn of the century. So I'm battling demons that were passed down from the turn of the century. We're talking about slavery. The women in my family were fighters. Do you hear me? Again, we're not going to go into all the stories right now. Well, in my next book, I'm probably going to talk about it. But the women in my family, it was up to now. Run up on my daughter and see what happens to you. Run up on my mama and see what happens to you. Run up on any of my aunties and see what happens. My cousins, run up on us. See what happens. So this is something that I had to deal with in therapy. We had to deal with that trauma. I had to deal with 100 years worth of trauma and say, guess what? It's not going to go to my grandchildren. It stops here. It stops here. It stops at my son and my daughter. It stops. We are not going to deal with this for another 100 years. It stops with me. And so I had to take accountability for that and fix that. So that's what all my posts are about today, y'all. I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. I am good. I am sitting on my porch swing, looking outside. It's raining, but it feels good. I like this kind of weather. I done cleaned my room. I done made my bed. I'm about to go in here and clean out my closet. Listen, I'm happy. Life is good. Now, am I dealing with trauma? Am I dealing with stuff? Absolutely. But I know who my Redeemer is. I know who God is. I have a real relationship with God. My relationship with God allows me to speak even when I'm angry. My relationship with God allows me to be functional even when I want to break down. My relationship with God allows me to move as I'm bruised and I'm still giving him the glory. There's things that I can say that I can say I don't believe in God, but that's not true. Because it's only by the grace of God that y'all seeing me here right now speaking in my right mind, in my right tone, not yelling at the camera like some of y'all do. Stop that, it's weird. But anyways, y'all, listen, all is well. I had to call my girls off because they were like, who did something to you? Who fought you? What's his name? What's his people at? Listen, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We grown. We in our 40s. We won't act like it. So all is well. I'm good. I'm dealing with things, but I will deal with things and I will deal with people as I need to. If anybody has any strong opinions, don't get blocked because I will block you and go with God. Listen, I don't play any of that. I don't play any of that as it relates to my children. Be clear, I don't. So I tell people you can go with God because you can't go with me, or we can be cool, but just figure out what you want to do. Make sure you're on the right side of grace, all right? Y'all, listen, it is a great day to make it a great day. I hope you are doing that. I will talk to you all soon. Y'all be blessed. Peace.